Hi everyone, I'd like to welcome you to Let Love Speak. My name is Jacqueline Snyder, and this is my weekly blog video series, which is all about you and me and basically everyone. It's about getting to know your inner self better. This week I wanted to talk to you about stopping the tapes in our heads. Recently I've been distracted by those old voices and tapes in my head that have been coming back and have got me kind of, I wouldn't say stuck, but listening to them too much. And as I listen to them more, the volume of those voices goes up and I give them more credence and I believe more in what they're saying to me. And those old voices, the voices of, say, my mother or my aunt or my father or an old boss that was being critical of me, they're not real. They're from my past, and they're other people's opinion of me. Those voices, or what I call tapes, that run and they come back and they run again and they run again and they run again, are examples of opinions, ideas, beliefs, criticisms, negativity that people in our lives have said to us or said about us or said around us that kind of, stick. I mean, I remember my father saying to me when I was thinking about going to university and I was thinking of taking a fine arts degree, and he said, well, where would that ever get you? How can you get a job from that? Well, as you can imagine, being an impressionable 17, 18-year-old, I didn't end up going into the fine arts department. And, I don't regret that now, looking back on it. But I do think that those types of voices, those types of tapes playing, sometimes make me feel conflictual inside of myself. Does what my father said affect how I feel about my writing and editing career now? Maybe it does. Maybe sometimes I think because writing is an art, editing is more of a professional skill, but any good editor knows that there's a lot of art in crafting words. And so, I'm walking right into the face of some of my past and some of the expectations from people from my past when I say that I'm a writer, that I'm an editor, that I make my money, that my career is based on something that I love, that I write because I love to write, and it is an art. So there are many things that stick with us over time. I remember being told as a child that children were to be seen but not heard. Well, there's another reason probably why I became a writer. It's interesting to look back and see how our past relationships with pivotal people in our lives affect our now and ultimately affect our future decisions. Our future decisions, however, and our now decisions, which are the only decisions we really truly have, really need to come from who we truly are, not who people hope, wish, expect, would like, demand us to be. And no matter how old you are, whether you're young, 18, like I was trying to make a decision about university, or you're around 40 years old like I am now, and I'm coming to that point in my life where I realize that things need to be more about me and less about what everybody else thinks I should be. These different pivotal moments when we make decisions about our lives always come back to that one main focal point, that one most important thing that there is about all of us. And that is that we're all individuals and we're all unique. And we can't be like anyone else. Yes, we carry pieces of our ancestors within us. My great-grandfather, my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my grandfather, my parents. But I also carry pieces of the rest of the planet within me as well. I rely as much on the sun to feed me and keep me healthy as I did with my parents when I was young, when I was an innocent baby and I needed to be looked after. Everything is intertwined. Everything is all bound together on our journey. on this planet. One of the things that I think Western philosophies are doing, and doesn't quite, speak to us in our hearts, is the fact that there's a lot of focus on us being separate, us looking after ourselves, being consumers part of that, but being very focused on being, worried about ourselves as a separate being from everyone else. But we aren't separate. None of us are separate. We are all intertwined with everything that's going on in the planet, with our family, with our relationships, and of course with ourselves. And the most important thing that we should all be trying to do is to understand who we are in relation to where we came from and who we really truly are inside of ourselves. And this is one of the ways that we can stop hearing these tapes playing in our heads. I'm not saying that the tapes are going to go away. They're not going to go away. They're going to stay there. They're going to stay with us. But if we ignore them, they'll just play louder. And you can only ignore them for so long, and you can only stop listening to them for so long before you need to listen to them, and you need to let them come to the surface, and then you need to let them go. And once you let them go, they just don't play anymore. And if they do, they certainly don't play very loudly. And when they do, you listen to them and you say, oh yeah, okay, that's my insecurity about this, it's come back. What do I need to do to look after myself to heal that insecure part of me, and to move on and to keep being who I truly am? And so that's really what stopping those tapes in your head is all about. It's not about eradicating them. It's not about, pressing the off button. It isn't that. We have to admit to ourselves that we come from a long line of individuals that were carrying all sorts of tapes in their heads, and some of that got transferred into ours, genetically at the cellular level, right down to our DNA, all the way to the things that we heard and the things that we saw. And, we need to be able to face those things and have the courage to do so. But we also need to have the courage to realize that we are totally unique and not like anyone else. And it's our responsibility to know who we are as individuals. We were all put here on this planet, and we were all here at this time in the families that we came into for a reason, for a purpose, and we all have our own individual missions in this world. And I believe that mine is to be a writer and an editor, and to enjoy teaching individuals how to create their novels the way that they want to, and to write my own novel the way that I want to, and to communicate with you all here today the way that I am now. And I'm hoping that the messages that I feel from my heart are messages that do come from my ancestors, and that I'm expressing them in a way that is healthful and that is positive for the world that I live in now. And that, I believe, is what will lessen the tapes in my head and allow me to be exactly who I should be 100% of the time. So I thank you all for being here with me today at Let Love Speak, and I always love speaking to you about the letters that I get from people and my own personal experiences. And I think from today on I've decided that I'm going to be truly who I am for all of the world to see. And I do believe that the world will embrace me, because that's really what I'm here for. That's what we're all here for. And I hope that you're able to take the same journey with me and be as courageous and honest with yourself as I'm trying to be with myself. And take it one day at a time, one step at a time. That's exactly how every good thing and every amazing thing is created. So have a wonderful week, everyone, and I'll see you next week here at Let Love Speak. My name is Jacqueline Snyder.